Welcome, everybody, to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Ganya. With me, my partner, Naldo. We apologize in advance for the lack of the cold open. I know you guys love those puns, but we're just going to get right into it this week. What do we have in store for the folks, Naldo?
What's up, man? We actually went rogue and decided to pick our own Indian film this time. Actually, you did it. The movie is Sector 36, and I was not prepared for this one, man. I really wasn't. This was dark.
Very dark, darker than our shirts. It was like I'm in a psychological thriller kind of kick with films, and so I kind of went
Sure.
down the list and I said, "What do I got?" And I saw this, and it was available on Netflix, and it has our guy. It has our guy from 12th Fail, and I was like,
Yeah,
"He's a great actor. Let's see what we've got here as a serial killer."
I know. So Vikrant Massey, right? 12th Fail, phenomenal film. Love that film. We love that film. Go check it out. We reviewed it. But I was a little nervous because you go from a guy who's playing this really innocent who we're rooting for to a whole 180 where he's just like this evil, dark, sadistic guy. So I was a little hesitant to really. I was scared to see how he was going to do. And this guy is so versatile, man. He is so good. He's becoming one of my favorite Indian actors right now. He's so good.
Yeah, even the subtleties in the beginning of the first half of the film, where he doesn't have a lot to do other
Yeah.
than just physical. There's no real dialogue. He's not interacting really. You see kind of the, tale of two guys as he's calling home, but it's so subdued until the scene that's behind you, where my jaw was like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is what I'm here for. This is exactly why I wanted to watch this film.
I really like the cop for some reason because he
Mm,
was so corrupt. If we're gonna go talk about the cop detective, what's his name?
mhm.
Pandy. He was corrupt at first, and all these children are missing, and then he changes his heart. But he was a corrupt cop, and it just goes to show that, man, everybody in this movie is corrupt at one time or another,
Mm.
I felt like. And then again, we have the Indian police force treating people almost any way that they want. Again, is this the thing? Does the Indian police force treat people like this? Somebody let us know, please, because I'm seeing this in movies, in the Indian films, quite a bit. And I'm just like, is this true? Does this really happen?
Yeah, and the system almost seems broken from top down.
For
It's a
sure.
very
Yeah.
politicized. You see, oh, we don't have time to investigate these disappearances because really there's only three of us here, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
you, and we don't really care about you because you guys are immigrants, and so no one really cares if you go missing. Therefore, this guy is able to get away with this in this
Yep.
district or this sector, if you will,
The sector. Yeah.
and it's infuriating, but you don't know who to blame really. It's like it's
Right.
everybody. You're right, it's everyone seems to have their hand in something incorrect or evil, and just it's tough to watch.
Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard to watch, especially um when we were seeing what's his name? Vikram Masi, his character, Pram Singh, his childhood and what happened to him as a kid. It was just like you couldn't watch, you couldn't stomach to watch what his uncle was doing to him. I mean, this is some dark stuff, and this is based on inspired by true events, correct?
Yeah, happened in the early 2000s. Kind of still untold how many deaths in fact. They in the interrogation scene, he kind of is like counting them up, and he throws out a number, but you don't really know if that's correct or not.
Yeah.
I didn't get down into the details of the whole case so heavy, but I did read that the men accused were acquitted,
Oh, they
and
were.
and
Oh my
they
gosh.
and they got off eventually. They did spend 15 plus years in prison, but they eventually were able to appeal and get off. And you're just like, how? Like how?
Yeah.
I know that this is a dramatization that we watched, but the atrocities that were committed on people, regardless of their ilk in society, it was just sad and disheartening. These families who are just cast aside, and
Sure.
you have a cop who does try to stop it and jump in, and even he's unsuccessful at
Yeah.
doing that. A broken system, man. Even beyond that, and them getting out of jail at a later time, it's so disheartening for the victims' families.
Right. Well, I mean, just going back to the movie, I mean, that millionaire, whatever, Basi, right?
Mm,
He had the whole cops in his back pocket, basically, right? He was buying them
Yeah.
left and right, and so he was able to get away with all this. Going back to the interrogation scene, man, I when that scene came up, I was like, oh, he's just gonna stall. He's not gonna get, not tell him anything. He just came out and flat told him everything in detail, and you're just like, whoa, this guy's confessing to everything, and it goes on for about 15 minutes. I think what it seems it's like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and like it just kept going and going. You kept hearing the gruesome details, and then he does something that I was not expecting. He gave the reason why he was taking all these children, why he was
Mm.
murdering them, and he gave the reason because there were lowlifes, he called them, and he said nobody was going to care about them, and he compared it to the kidnapping where that one kid from the rich districts was rescued within 2 days, and you have all these like what 20 something kids missing from this poor section of the village. It's just awful, awful, but it's fascinating. It was just fascinating, and it goes to show the versatility of this actor. He glues you to when he's acting. He's amazing.
Yeah, that scene is something else because you get from the detective that same feeling that you're feeling hearing this out of somebody's mouth. You don't
Yeah,
believe it. You're looking around like I can't be really hearing this, right? He
yeah,
can't be saying this so
yeah,
nonchalant as if
yeah.
these it doesn't matter. These are just details. Yeah, I did it. I have a show to get back to. A show to get back to. He was so
Mm-hmm.
concerned and obviously, mentally disturbed, and that's why there was no remorse or guilt in it, but he was just it was so matter of fact how he
Yeah,
goes and helps them find bodies afterwards. So matter of fact that it's terrifying. It
yeah,
was like, wow, I don't know like what to think. I almost needed to laugh to like let out some of the angst that I was feeling.
yeah.
I was like, this is uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. And he always talked about his wife and his kid. And you never saw that. And I always thought, man, this guy is off his rocker. He doesn't have a
Sure.
wife. He doesn't have a kid. He's just making it up, right? He's trafficking all these organs and selling the meat. And then I think there was even talk about cannibalism
Mhm.
from the
Yeah.
children and the people he was killing. It was just insane. And then you get to the end, right? You get like the big crazy twist at the end. I thought the ending was a bit of a mess. I felt
Hmm.
like it felt
Okay.
rushed a little bit,
Yeah.
especially when, let's get into spoilers, right? Especially when they murdered the detective.
Yeah.
It just so happened that he was picked up by those assassins. It seemed a little too convenient for me, but it's a movie, I get it, and it felt a little bit rushed.
So I felt like they were out looking for him specifically, and that's why they they picked him up. Like
Sure. Yeah.
they had the picture, they gave him the picture. They were looking for him specifically, and so I think I kind of took that as they knew that he was going to retrieve these discs that had
Yeah.
evidence to get Bossy arrested, and so he
Right.
sent these guys out. These were the same guys that took the rickshaw driver, I think,
Yeah. The guy with the
earlier.
fingernail.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they like
Yeah.
these guys kind of worked for the rich guy to like keep things under wraps. But it
Yeah.
did beyond that, like that was a huge like holy shit moment. And then
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of ends, and you're just like, oh
Yeah.
well, there's more story to tell. Like, but
Yeah.
what happens? And it didn't really feel quite finished at the end. I agree.
The true villain in this, I mean, they were all villains, right? But I feel like the one villain that doesn't get talked about a lot was his partner who betrayed him, Pathak or whatever was his name,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That guy betrayed his own friend because he wanted power. He's the one that got control. He backstabbed his friend. His friend got murdered, and he got power, and he took control. So, man, that power does something to people. It's crazy.
Yeah, it almost seems like the police force is like an escape for a lot of people. It's like you have a few
Sure.
paths that you can take to escape poverty and better yourself. And through a lot of the films that we've watched, it feels like the people that want to go into it no don't always necessarily have the best intentions set in
Yeah.
doing it. They are power hungry. They are, and it's probably no different in a lot of society when it comes to people joining the police force. You're going to have people who want to do good, and you're going to have people who want to abuse the power and want to
Sure.
control. And in this situation, where it's almost felt so cutthroat. To stay in power is so important
Yeah.
in this society and in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. You know who wasn't a crooked cop? Manoj in 12th Fail.
Very much more a lighthearted film than this one.
Totally, totally. Let's rate. Want to rate?
All right, let's rate it.
All right, we're gonna do a rating. 1 to 5. 1 being really awful, 5 being really good. Oh man, this was dark and unsettling. So I'm gonna let you go, you go first because you picked this one.
It's a tough thing to say a film like this, like you enjoyed it, because it is such a hard
Yeah,
watch and it is a tough subject and you feel so much for the people that lost loved ones.
sure.
But I'm gonna go on performances and how the direction was, and uh, I appreciated the succinctness of the story. I think they could
Hmm.
have added more, and I would have liked a little bit more. But I also always complain about bloated runtime.
Yeah,
So
you
2 hour
do.
runtime on this was solid. I was into it. Sometimes a movie wants you do want more of a movie, so
Yeah.
like longing for something and like wanting to dive into it a little bit more, I think is a successful thing. So I'm gonna go 3.5. I thought this was
Wow.
a good film. I was engaged. I thought the performances were strong, and I would probably watch it again, even though it was a tough watch, because I feel like there's more stuff that I want to kind of pick up on, the little
Sure.
details, the nuances of the characters that I didn't catch the first time around, because we're reading the subtitles, so
Yeah.
keeping up and making sure you're seeing what's going on at the same time can be
Right.
a little challenge, but good
Right.
movie.
Yeah, very good. Okay, 3.5. Okay, I'm right below you, sir. I'm gonna go with 3. I enjoyed the movie. It's a solid, solid 3. Vikrant Massey is an incredible actor, and like I said, he's becoming one of my favorite Indian actors. I would love to see more stuff he's in or he's doing. I don't know, but this movie is it's disturbing. It's hard to watch, but as far as the story goes, it wasn't bad. I think the ending was a little bit rushed for me, but overall, it was the story was there, and it's definitely one of those movies that when you go in there, just get ready to be unsettled for a little bit because it's a tough, tough subject. So three solid. It's a 3 solid rating for me.
That'll wrap it up for us today on FYC Film Review, guys. Thanks for watching. Please let us know what you thought of Sector 36, and give us some other recommendations.
Mm,
We're finding our groove, and we're finding our actors and actresses that we like, and directors, and yeah, I'm ready for more. So
yeah.
we'll do it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm your host Ganya, with me my partner Naldo, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good one, everybody.